Hey, welcome to today's video, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button please and press that bell button. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and how to get more without doing much. Let's get into it. Right, so before we start, I have a company. I teach people how to do cryptocurrency. All this kind of free stuff that you're getting leads to more advanced stuff if you're up for it. 99 pence for the first month, you're getting premium. And what premium is, essentially, it's brilliant. For the price, it's £10 a month normally. You get it for the first month for 99 pence, which is just over $1. And you get 2 Telegram channels. You get access to a load of libraries of content. So this here, every Monday or every other Monday we do this. Every 2 weeks on a Thursday we do a live Zoom, which is also on here. So we're doing live Zooms now every 2 weeks, so they're going to be filling up massively. I also do an element of fundamentals on the Telegram. I teach people how to get decent entry points on investments, and you can also watch what I trade as well. So on this section here, Binance Trades, I'm going to start trading soon, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how I'm going to do it at certain times of the year. So this video is all about that. So with that, jump in, link below, I'll see you there. And we're going to talk about this first because this is about growing Bitcoin. It's all market cycles, and I'm going to reveal something that you'll probably think, I wish I knew that 6 months ago, I wish I knew that 12 months ago, I wish I knew that 18 months ago, because this is really the route to wealth in cryptocurrency, and I'm going to explain it to you. And people are missing out on this because it's kind of that obvious, and you don't need to trade all the time. Now, there's different types of people. There's traders, there's investors, and then there's a pray, I bought and I hope it goes up sort of guy, the hodl. I only hodl Bitcoin, but I'm accumulating Bitcoin from a certain method. I'm going to explain that method to you now. So if you are new to the channel and you want to learn more, subscribe, hit the bell button, because I do this all the time. I just teach, and I also teach a lot of repetition. So if you get bored of me saying the same thing, there's probably a reason why. And I'm going to explain to you that this is quite important. When you start seeing fear in the market, something's going to happen. When you see greed in the market, something's going to happen. We're at a neutral stage at the minute. And over the last month, it was fear, because everything was like, oh, and then we went, boom, bang, we went back up again. The fear's got to come back. And I think the fear is due to the fact that Bitcoin's going to crash, due to the fact that the dominance is really high, the stock market's a bit unsettled, so it's not the greatest time in the world at the minute. Over the next coming months, it's going to be interesting for the stock market, but the fundamentals are key. You only buy certain types of coins when they go up, and what things are annoying me and really are my bugbear is when you go on YouTube and you're watching YouTubers and you're like, oh, look at this, the market is rosy. It's not, it's rubbish. The altcoin market is plummeting. Yeah, that's where the most money is, and that's how I'm going to show you how to make your most amount of Bitcoins. Look at this, you go, right, BTC, it's not great. We're in a bit of a lullish period at the moment. Bitcoin's quite steady, but ultimately people look straight at USD. Do not trade in USD. You only trade USD on leverage platforms, the likes of Bybit, because you are going into Bitcoin and you are looking to grow your Bitcoin directly by trading that Bitcoin asset. There's only one time that you want to be using the likes of Tether, and that is when the market is crashing, because you get a double whammy then. Because if you're holding in Tether and Bitcoin's going down, and you're buying back into the likes of Bitcoin to buy into an altcoin in Bitcoin, you're making more Bitcoin on the entry and on the exit when you're going into an uptrend. That's kind of how it works. But what I'm going to teach you right now is simple. You need a couple of EMAs. You need to understand elements of trading, but you're not trading as in day trading. You're not trading as in swing trading. You're invest trading on the basis of a trend in the term of alt season. Yes. Every time, at least 2 or 3 times a year, there is an alt season. People are getting a bit panicky because nothing's happened this year since March in terms of altcoins. They've had little pump and rallies here and there, and governing on your experience would depend on how fast you want to do it. Now, I'm going to teach you the basic method, the very, very simplistic method that it works on every time frame, any coin, doesn't matter. Now, let's just press the yield refreshy button. Now, it looks pretty daunting, doesn't it? This is ADA. Let me remove everything else and let me just give you that. Let's just take this about and play with it. So you can see that little alt season there. Look at March here. And the crashing down here. Obviously here. You would not believe the gains in this. But I'm going to explain something else in a second. So look at this, right? That's crazy, okay? It's a lot. 56%, guys, it's a lot. You would not get a property deal or an ISA or anything else like that. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this to you is because it's really straightforward. You see this EMA, this orange one, that is the EMA 34. Remember that? EMA 34. The yellow one is the moving average 100, and the purple one is the moving average 200. Okay? So why am I explaining this to you? These uptrends, when it's alt season, always work. Put it out there. It's like cheating. Anything you touch in altcoins over that period of alt season turns to gold. So, remember that date, the 8th of March. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put something on here. Now, I've not double checked this before I've actually came on this video, so this might go wrong. So I'm going to put the BTC dominance chart on that bottom area. So, there we go. Perfect. So, the reason why I'm saying this and I'm highlighting this is for one simple reason. This is coming down. That is going up. We are waiting for this to come down, and then the altcoins will go up. What do? Well, funny you ask that. You buy an altcoin with Bitcoin. Simple as that. And you've got a trend to work with because the pairing essentially is going higher and growing more than the Bitcoin value. Meaning your Satoshi values are going up. If you've got one Bitcoin, right, sitting there gathering dust and you think I can grow this, you put it into an uptrend like this. And the risk and reward strategy is unbelievable because the risk of you going for 56%, yeah, cool, go for it. You don't know how long it's going to go. You just do not know. But what I will say is this. When you're using the trend lines and certain type of moving averages, your stop loss is quite good. So your risk reward strategy is absolutely unbelievable. So for example here, you enter on the uptrend here. It goes up loads. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Press the button. Say you get out at 50-odd%. Your stop loss will be pretty tight. It'll be very tight. It will be ridiculously tight because in the element of it, it is just below the moving average. So you've got quite a lot of wiggle room. It's quite good. So let's look at the analysis here for ADA. This has dropped a lot. This drop here, this rise, sorry, is 50-odd%. We know that. What's this then? This is crazy. So the risk reward is unbelievable. So even from this red candle here, we're going all the way down. We're into the 70%. So why am I saying all this? Because what's going to happen now is this. When you're looking at going back, coins always want to retrace the drop, a bounce. You put a Fibonacci at the top of where it kind of went. You can do the wick or the body, doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent. These are your possible target areas. This is your areas of interest. So the first target you'd go for from this bottom would be here. 769 cents. Okay? How much is that in retrospect terms? From the bottom to the top. That is already 90% move. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you this right now. This is unbelievable. So you've got to wait. You've got to be patient. Don't just be buying altcoins because I'm saying this. This is how you make your Bitcoin in alt seasons. Now, the entry point is from the bottom. It obviously will not happen. You are waiting for certain parameters. I'm going to explain now what the parameters are. I'm just going to quickly put this one up here as well. If you really, this is where you make Bitcoin. And I keep saying it to people, and people are not having it, and it's doing my head in. The reason why it's doing my head in is because they don't get the fact that these are really low. You put a bit of Bitcoin at the bottom, you risk as in risk appetite, is having to be different. You don't put your whole bags in, you put an element of it in. So if you've made, say, $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in profit, put $100 in. If you lose, you lose. If it goes up, you get more Bitcoin. You're accumulating your Bitcoin for long term. That is how you make more Bitcoin. Too many people are holding Bitcoin and worrying about the value of it. Don't worry about the value of it. Worry how much Bitcoin you've got. Sometimes in cryptocurrency, it's not how much Bitcoin you've got. It's how much you can keep. People worry too much about growing it with leverage trading. What they do is they go into leverage trading. They're not really that clued up and they lose it all. This is the way that is the safest. And this is where I've made most of my cryptocurrency. Waiting for these moments to go, well, it's a good time to go in now. So what you need to do, BTC dominance chart. Okay. You need to understand that that is going down. We're starting to go down a little bit, but not quite full direction yet. We've had a lot of these little bumps in the road and it goes back up again. So you've got to be really, really patient. Now, I don't care if I'm sitting on a load of Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin. I'm happy. I'm in a much better position than anyone else I can think of at the time. It's like my personal wealth. It's there. I'm happy. When you are starting off from a low amount, this is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on growing it at the right times, at the easiest times. Alt seasons are lucky seasons for people. They get people very, very rich. So this is my method. Okay, the EMA 34 is your first entry point. When the coin goes above, not like this, when it fully holds, as in this. Now this was a really, really good entry. Now if I just go back in time a little bit, you can kind of see what I mean here. This is another idea. This is an example. Entry number 1, entry number 2. You're already in profit. You're already in profit. When it starts coming down and rejects off it, you can start taking your money out. But it never actually went below that moving average 100. So you're all right. The only time that you want to jump out of these lines, essentially as your trend trading, which is simple, is when it fully closes below it. For example, like this. It closes. Start removing your position. Okay? Downward trends coming. So when you go from here, right, you need to enter and you need to put in a small bag. Wait for the pullback. Okay, this here, pullback. I know it's easy going back in time showing you this, but this is what you need to do. You need to wait for a actual pullback. You don't want to be buying up here because you've got a few days of pain. This is a daily time frame. It will look slow, and it is. It really is slow. So you wait for a pullback. Goes up, cool. You want to be looking at entering on an opening above here. You add to your position. Add a little bit more because you've got profit here. Add a bit more. It keeps going up, cool. But it does come down. You only get out of your position because you'll already be in profit here anyways. You'll already be in profit roughly wherever you've been buying it back at your entry point essentially. Yeah, you could have took profits there because these are actually quite big moves. You don't even think that because it's daily time frame. It's a big move. It's huge. But ultimately, it hasn't closed. Not yet. Yeah, off it goes. Now, that is obvious. But it's risk management. You've got to give it a go. So, this point here, let's go back in time again. Another one here. This is another mini alt season. This was 2018. April. Boom. And how much is this one? Can you see the pattern yet? More often than not, altcoins are coming down. Now, you never want to get these little pumps because that's just resistance. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We're above. It only happens a few times a year. ADA, it hasn't happened many. It's only happened April, August, December, sorry. This one was a big one. We're going to come to another alt season soon. It's going to pop. So what you're going to do with this area here, it's simple, isn't it? You're waiting to go above this point. Now you can do this on a 6 hour time frame if you want to speed it up. It's the same method. If we go to the 6 hour time frame, it is the same method. Like, look, go back. Yes, there's a more pumps you can get involved in, but look at this region here. I'll just remove that fib. This was the region last time. So what I was talking about before, look at the impulses going up. It's unbelievable. So use either the 6 hour, the 12 hour, or the daily, or if you're not quite clued up, learn. Jump in my premium, ask me some questions, you get some support with that. But ultimately, the same method You get in, retracement, okay, we're in. This one's quite a good one because you're in on all the EMAs, on the moving averages, in the trend. These are, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, guys. When the coins are doing this, most coins will be doing it. That's ADA. And that is the start of March. Now, let me just pick another coin. What? Pick a coin, Ash. Let's look at TRX. I don't even know. I'm just guessing now. Let's see what TRX was doing at the same time. In March 19, it wasn't doing the exact same thing. It just wasn't. So each coin is different. Okay? But you look at the start of the year for TRX, December, it was doing this. So it's totally different. So each coin, you've got to find one that's going to do it. That was a huge run. Look at that. So you've got to be careful, guys. You've got to be careful. Not everyone does it. Now, we had a mini one here. Very, very small one in terms of when it went up. But retrospect, still 30%. So each coin's different. TRX probably a really bad example. Let's have a look at another coin. LTC, BTC. I know that this one did trend up in certain points of the year. This one did it a few times this year. This one, from the start of December up to April, came down, and another one again in May. So it depends on the coin. You need to look for certain coins. But what I will say this, be careful what you're doing. I mean that now, because you need to find the trends. You've got to go with the risk appetite of having a tight stop loss as well. Ethereum, February, went into a bit of an alt season in February. This was quite a big move. If you get on this crossover here, for example, then you add to position here, then you add position here, and it goes up to these points here, even up here. It's 20% on Ethereum. Pretty cool. That's only a small one. This one again, rapid growth, crossover, off it goes. That one's a hard one. And then you got the start of the year. December. This one was quite a notorious alt season. A lot of coins did this in December. And then we crashed. So, look at that, 50%. Crazy. So that's how you do it. Simple as that. I know it sounds really obvious, but you need to wait for these little areas of pockets where the altcoin's going to do it. Now, this is only the 6 hour time frame. This is obviously the daily. And you've got to use these trend lines to your advantage. Look for the BTC dominance. BTC.D on the index charts. Look at it. We're in a massive uptrend right now. Oh, huge uptrend. This needs to come down. It needs to come. It just needs to trickle. If this trickles down, the altcoins go up. You enter the altcoins, and you just wait until the turnout, because your one Bitcoin or whatever you've got will turn into whatever extra with percentages. Use Bitcoin and hold in Bitcoin. We are in a bull market for Bitcoin. Do not be using USTD, because you'll get burnt, because that stays still. And if Bitcoin keeps going up in value over the period of time, it trickles up, you're going to lose out anyway. So only enter USTD when there's a huge bear market when it comes to Bitcoin, and then you can rebuy low. So if you enjoyed my video, I hope you did anyways. Let me know in the comment section. Like and a thumbs up would be much appreciated. So I will see you tomorrow, where I'll talk about something totally random, probably. Not quite sure what yet. We'll see what happens today. Stock market is quite an interesting term.